Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. This morning, you're probably not gonna be able to see it, but I'm having fried tofu, some apple, and then to dip the fried tofu in, I have a spicy sauce. It got dark all of a sudden. I think it's gonna rain. Come on. It looked so nice out earlier. Anyway. I had filmed a video on, yesterday. Yesterday morning, I think. I went live for the first time. It was really early. Anyway. I don't know what happens after you do a live. Like, I thought that it would just post to my channel. But maybe not. On this tofu, there's just salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I'm weird like that. Sometimes I like really savory stuff in the morning. These forks are so weird. So yesterday was a really good day for Axel. So I explained everything in my live yesterday. So I'm gonna have to explain it all again today, I guess. So when I filmed 2 weeks ago, I fully intended to start coming back and filming every day. And then life happened. And it has been an adventure, to say the least. So Axel has been having these really weird heart palpitations. And he's talked to his medical team about it. He went and had a heart halter on. He had to go up to the hospital clinic. They put it on him for 3 days. And his results seemed okay. Like, even when when it showed his heart racing, it wasn't anything to be concerned about as far as heart attack goes. So there were some days where he would start feeling really crappy and like say to me, Mom, I don't feel well. But unfortunately, as celiac, that kind of comes with the territory sometimes. No matter how careful we are, there is a possibility that something, some way, is going to make him feel sick. My celiac is not as sensitive, thank God. I feel so sorry for him because you really don't know when it's going to happen, and it sucks. Like, it really sucks. So, we've just been really careful. We don't order anything out. Cheers, queers. Oh my God, I forgot. I don't even know if I did that yesterday. My brain is all over the place, so it wouldn't surprise me if I forgot. Anyway, so two Fridays ago, I got up and went to work. I don't even think he was awake yet when I left for work because I opened that day, so I went early. I came home, you know, we did our little normal conversation of how things are going. And everything was good. And then I went to lay down. And when I woke up, I went to the bathroom and he comes out of his room. And says, Mom, I don't feel good. I said, okay, what's wrong? He said, my heart is really racing and I just don't feel right. Okay. So I washed my hands, come out of the bathroom. This is all kind of through the bathroom door that this is happening. We're always like that. We're always talking to each other through the bathroom door. It's kind of funny. So, we go out into the living room and sit down. And I ask him, like, when did this start? He said a little while ago, and I've tried breathing, and I've tried, you know, doing my stretches and everything because the doctors gave him an amount of stretches to do when he starts feeling this chest pain because they think it might be costochondritis. So there's a bunch of things that you can do to help alleviate the pain. So I thought that was the washer, but maybe not. Because I still hear it. There was some kind of beeping. Maybe it's a truck backing up. Anyway. No, it's the washer. Okay. That was weird. It usually does like a tune. See, I don't know any of this stuff. I just use it. I'm washing my bed sheets because the cat got sick on my bed sheets. The joys of pet sitting. So, anyway. I tried to see if it was just anxiety, right? So I got him a cold cloth and we put it on the back of his neck. And I was just talking to him. You could see how uneasy he was, though. It was really bad. And then I put on some, like, funny videos of animals online. See if that would help. And then, it was only a few minutes, and he said, Mom, it's not working. So I said, okay, what's the next step? And I could see how scared he was. So I said, I'm going to call 911. I don't want you to have to call 911. I'm like, honey, better safe than sorry. I'd rather them come here and check you out and see that nothing is wrong so you can relax. Like, right? Yeah. So I called 911. At that point, he was kind of switching around, moving places to see if it would help. Nothing was helping. So I called to take my info on why I'm calling. And I said, we just need an ambulance. Not fire truck and police and all that. Okay. We're sending them out. Okay. She got me to measure his heart rate while I was on the phone with her. And it was going so fast, like crazy fast. So when I measured it for her, she was like, you're at what? Because I was counting it out loud, right? She asked me to. She said, okay, reassure him it's not a heart attack. Okay. So, you know, I'm telling him everything that she says. I'm trying to make him feel at least a little bit less anxious. And then she says, okay, they're on their way. Put the dog away. I guess it's on our file that we have a dog because I always put him in one of the bedrooms when they come. I act like this has happened a million times. Thankfully, I've only had to call 911 once before this time, a couple of years ago. Anyway, so she says, call me back if anything changes with his breathing, like if he's having more difficulty breathing, if he can't talk to you, like if he loses consciousness at all, faints or whatever, or if he starts barfing. I said, okay. Well, I put the dog away. Oh, she also told me to unlock the door, so I unlocked the door. As I'm going down the hallway to unlock the door, Axel says, can you give me a bucket, Mom? I'm like, no. Of course I can, honey. So I get him the barf bucket. And, at this point, he's even scared to vomit, right? I said, just let it out. Like, maybe it'll make you feel better. Who knows, right? So he starts barfing. Right away, I call 911 back. I tell them what's going on. No problem. She puts it on my file. She says, reassure him that they're on Woodbine. They're 3 minutes away. I said, okay. So while I was still on the phone with her, they came. I saw them because we're right at the front, right? So I saw them. So she said, okay, they're there. Reassure him that they're there. I'll let you go. I said, okay, thank you so much for your help. So I'm panicking at this point, like running around the house trying to make sure that, like, there's nothing in the way of the guys coming in. You know, like clearing, it's just shoes and stuff in the hallway, but still. So then I got nervous that my phone wouldn't work for them to come in because they have to buzz, and sometimes for some godforsaken reason, it decides that it's not going to work. So, man, I go running downstairs. I just leave the door open because our thing on the top is broken anyway. So I go downstairs. I let them in. Tell them which apartment, and they come in, and they right away hook him up to the heart monitor. His heart rate is 124, which is a concern. So they start talking to him, and his heart rate is kind of not really changing. Asking him all kinds of questions, making sure that he's aware of what's going on, and that he's actually conscious and stuff like that, right? They try and make sure that you've got your senses and everything, because obviously it can be more dangerous if you don't. So the first thing they do is just put the little monitor on the machine. Then next they start hooking up all kinds of pads to him and everything to check his heart and to check his oxygen level. I think this one checks the oxygen level. I don't know. My brain is all over the place right now. Anyway, so they talk to him for a couple of minutes to try and get him to calm down. His heart rate does go down to, I believe, 119 or something like that. And they ask him, is he able to walk? He says, yes. Okay, we're going to take you to the hospital. At this point, he's a little bit panicked. So he's got his blanket. He has this beautiful soft blanket. And his favorite stuffed toy and his health card. The important things. It was really cute. Such a sweet kid. So then off we go. I tell the ambulance driver that take Axel downstairs and I'll be down in a minute. I have to let the dog out, lock up the door, all that stuff. So on the way to the hospital, we go to Michael Guerin this time, which is East General, and the guy is talking to him, and he's reassuring him that his heart rate is coming down a little bit. I believe by the time we got to the hospital, it was 113. That's a good thing, right? So they take us in. He gets admitted pretty quickly into triage, but it's busy. So they do the first ECG right in the back of the admitting section thing. And then we go to the waiting room. This all happened around 7:30, I want to say. And I don't remember what time that we got to the actual little emergency department, but they again checked his heart, and they need to do blood work. So they do all the questions to make sure that it's not anything drug related, which of course with Axel it never would be. He's so open and honest about everything, and he's never used anything. So no alcohol, no drugs, no smoking, no nothing. So and at his age, at any age, obviously that's the first questions that they have to ask to make sure that it wouldn't be something dangerous that you've ingested, right? So then when it came time to take his blood, it was really hard because he was so nervous, and he's already got rolling veins. His veins wouldn't cooperate. So the poor first nurse who came in, she tried, and it was quite painful for Axel. So she ended up saying, hold on a second, and she went and got somebody else. That person came in, and they were still having a difficult time. So the doctor came over and just said, you know, would it be okay if I just sit here and talk to you and ask you some questions? And Axel's like, I don't know. She was such a sweetheart. Oh my goodness. They were so wonderful with his pronouns as well. I'm so thankful. Yeah. Because on his health card, it's his birth name. He's never had a legal name change. So, they were just so wonderful. Like, I actually think I have to write a thank you letter, but I need my brain to be a little bit better than it still is right now. So, the second person finally was able to get the blood after a good, I don't even know how long. It took a long time. I don't know how many attempts either, but his arms were all bruised up afterwards, unfortunately, but they gotta do what they gotta do, right? They gotta get a blood sample. So they took 3 vials, and then we had to wait for the results of that, and it was extensive blood work. So then the doctor was coming in and talking to him, and of course, asking him if it's not heart related, which it does not look like it is, thank God, then he needs to talk to his doctor about anxiety, which is fine. He's got a therapist appointment coming up on the 30th, and this date was, I want to say, about the 21st or 22nd at this point. It was a Friday, so let's look that up. So, and then Saturday was quite a quiet day. So this would have been, I think, on the 19th that the first one happened. So the 19th was the Friday. The 20th was the Saturday. He had a really quiet day and didn't do hardly anything. He just stayed laying down and resting, which is completely fine because I thought that was the best thing. Still eating and drinking properly. On the 21st, across his chest was really painful. Like, he said that he could hardly move. It was so bad. He didn't have a good night's sleep. And I thought, oh my goodness, like, that's kind of not good. So he asked me if I could go and get something, like Rebbe 535 or Mioflex is what we used to use. So I said, of course I can. But he was too nervous to even be alone in case something happened. So we called our friend Karen, and over she came, and she was going to stay with him while I went to Shoppers Drug Mart. I got my purse on, and was just about to leave, and he sat down, and he said, I don't feel good. It's bad. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do? And I said, do I need to call 911? He said, I think so. So I said, okay, no problem. So I called again, and this time the firefighters came first, checked his heart. Within a few minutes, the paramedics showed up, and his heart rate wasn't as high this time. And though the first team was 2 gentlemen, they were lovely. The second team was a gentleman and a lady. They were absolutely lovely. And they tried to tell him that there's no way that it could be his heart. This machine that they're using is so good, and it's very detailed and expensive. And it's most likely anxiety. But Axel was really freaking out at this point. My head's hurting, sorry. So they talked to him for quite a few minutes, and then he didn't feel like it was getting any better. Aside from what the machine was saying, he just felt like shit, right? So, of course, they said, if you feel like you need to go to the hospital, we will still take you. Because obviously it's not good for him to be just sitting there and feeling like junk. So, off we went to the hospital. I had put the dog away and did all of that stuff again. So, same deal. I told them to go down and I would meet them downstairs. Took me a turn up, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I didn't say on Friday, we left the house around 7:30 and we were home before 2 o'clock in the morning, so that wasn't too bad. And then on the Sunday, we left the house at 2:30 or 1:30, I think 1:30. And we ended up at St. Mike's this time. And the staff there, again, so wonderful with everything. And they hooked him up to all the stuff. They did. He just didn't look right. You could see it. Like he was shaking at one point like a leaf. They gave him a heated blanket. They did ECG, ultrasound, X-ray. They used his blood work from East Gen, thank God. Excuse me, because he didn't want his blood taken again, and they didn't want to have to put him through that if they didn't have to. So I'm very thankful for that. ECG, ultrasound, X-ray. They checked his lungs, they checked his heart, they did all kinds of different things. Honestly, it was kind of a blur. And I felt so bad because he just looked so sick. And I'm sitting there in the chair both times, just, holding his hand when he wants me to, and just being there for him so he doesn't feel alone. Anyway, the only thing that they determined, or was that the first night? I don't know what night it was. I think the first night they realized that he has low phosphorus in his blood. So they gave him a tablet, which was like this orange fizzy stuff, which was so cute because he hates fizzy anything. He still drank it. But we were there for 8 hours, and then they sent us home because she said, it's not your heart, it's not your lungs, so that's really good. It's not a bad thing. It's really good, so it's something else. But that means that you have to talk to your doctor, who might have to send you to specialists. You can get in touch with the cardiologist, and we'll take it from there. He had already had the heart Holter, or whatever you call it, the monitor on, so, that would have been the next step that they were looking at. So when we told them that, they just got the results from that. And everything seemed good. So, this is now Sunday. He has a doctor's appointment on, I think on Monday or Tuesday. Something in that week. I'm so lost right now. His regular doctor. So, at this point, he can't walk. I've borrowed a cane from somebody in my neighborhood. They actually just gave it to him, which was really sweet. He has zero energy, has no color to his face at all. His fingers are like, there's no color in his fingers at all. Like, it was like the oxygen wasn't getting, the oxygen level was fine. But I think it was just because his body was sickly. Hello, sweet boy. Hi, bud. Sweet baby. So, we go down to the doctor's appointment, and she says that she's really, really happy with all of the test results from the hospital, actually. And his blood work is amazing. His heart looks good. His lungs look great. Everything that should be looked at the emergency ward looked fantastic. So that's great. So obviously it's something else. So he's explaining to her everything that's going on. And she does agree that it's possibly anxiety. But because he's got all of these funky symptoms, it's also possible that he's been talking to her about lengthy over the past couple of months. There's a couple of things that it could be. Long COVID. Yuck. Which we just have to deal with if that's what it is. Costochondritis. And there's a couple of other things that I can't remember. Because it's just, my life has been tipsy-topsy-turvy for the last couple of weeks. So, there's the tent. So, I haven't been able to go to work because he has been scared to be alone. I've had to just get people to cover my shifts. I think I only worked once in the whole past 2 weeks. Tonight is another shift, and I'm nervous because his times where it's really bad is in the evening. We're not sure why. But, anyway, So that was the Monday he had a doctor's appointment. He had another doctor's appointment on the Friday. He was supposed to get blood work. And then he forgot the requisition form. Because obviously, there's been a lot going on. So we just went home. So he has to make a blood appointment. Again with the vampire. Phlebotomist, I call them vampire. I'm just looking at this thing in my hair. It's pissing me off. This little bump. Anyway, I have to fix that. And so that was 1 week from we went to the first hospital. And then, so he had doctor's appointment on the Monday, doctor's appointment on the Friday. He had his therapy appointment on the 30th, and they talked about it possibly being anxiety. And then I was walking the dog one morning, and my brain has just been thinking, what the hell can this be? I'm researching so many different things online. And anybody who says that the web doctor cannot help you, that's fine if that's what you think, but it has helped a lot of people. So, us included. Celiac, just saying. So, that's how I found out, or when I realized what it was, just from researching online. So, I'm still also trying to manage everything, like my own life as well, doing my OA meetings, because my first thing with coping with stress is to eat and binge, right? So I'm trying not to do that. Thankfully, I'm still on track. I'm very, very, very grateful. I went to meetings every single day that I could. I think I only missed a few here and there. Obviously, when we were at the hospital, I didn't do a meeting. So, I'm out walking the dog one morning, and my brain is just thinking. And 7 years ago, Axel had gotten sick, which was when we realized that he had celiac. And it was all kind of the same symptoms. In the first round that we realized that he was celiac. In the second round, we realized that he was allergic to corn. So when he was getting sick in the morning and the evening, and I was logging everything, it was his toothpaste that was making him sick. So I run in the house, and I'm like, oh my God, it's your toothpaste. He's like, what? I'm like, I swear to God, these are all the same symptoms, but just worse now than, well, not worse in a sense, but at the beginning, because before it was a really lengthy time that he had all of these symptoms. Thank God this time we caught it early. It was your toothpaste. And he's like, okay. So he grabbed his toothpaste. We read the ingredients. There's only one ingredient that is kind of questionable.